This is a story about police raids, the far right,
Dance with me, move your body.
and techno. Welcome to Tbilisi, Georgia's capital. There is a booming music scene here, built by the country's pro-Western youth, with clubs that are a safe space for LGBT people.
We are free and we need to be free.
But they're facing resistance from powerful forces. So when 10,000 ravers took to the streets, dancing became a political act. I wanted to find out what drove their protest and who is backing violent right-wing extremists who showed up in force. In a nation torn between Russia and Europe, this is the story of Georgia's rave revolution. Underneath the Dynamo football stadium in the heart of Tbilisi sits Georgia's biggest electronic music club, Bassiani.
This is Bassiani, actually, the main dance floor.
It's a former swimming pool turned dance floor and a rare place in Tbilisi where LGBT people are welcome. Zviad Gelbahiani is one of the club's founders.
We are preparing for the biggest night since the raids. So we are now setting up the equipment and sound system.
This is the raid he was talking about. In May, hundreds of police stormed Bassiani and another LGBT-friendly club. They say it was part of a 3-month operation in a crackdown on drugs.
The special forces raided right here. And can you imagine when you realize that in the darkness, it's 1 a.m. and there's somebody with machine guns, real machine guns and with masks standing next to you and screaming to you. I don't know how it will preserve in our mind.
It's not a secret that the clubbing scene is associated with drugs. Can you see why the police turned out?
Drugs are not created and produced here in the country. All of them are imported. So they should target the borders, not the people on the dance floor or the owners or the club itself.
Zviad and around 70 others from the scene were detained outside the club.
Yeah, this is the place over there where I was detained by 8 policemen. They were like literally dragging me out with my hand and with my legs. And there was no air in the middle of circle. I was asking them to let me down. We asked our friends and the whole city to help us and stand with us.
Within hours, thousands of people had taken to the streets to stand up for their freedom to express themselves. And soon the protest took the form of a rave.
We felt the power in front of the parliament. When I raised my head and saw those 20,000 people were dancing, I was almost crying.